Hello there, you are with Star Television Network in Freetown. Welcome to the National News Bulletin. And these are the main headlines. The Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Brian Mabure Sisay, has urged members of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces to uphold professionalism and avoid politics. The Freetown City Council's success or failure to improve on the outlook of the municipality, especially the market spaces, largely depend on the cooperation of the market traders themselves, according to the Council Chief Administrator, Festus Kali. Stakeholders of the Sierra Leone People's Party in Post-Local District condemned the alleged act of violence on their members by some supporters of the All People's Congress Party. And in sports, ahead of the return leg in the ongoing African Nations Cup Under-20 qualifier between the Sierra Leone Under-20 male team Shooting Stars versus Guinea-Bissau, Mercury International has supported the team with 200 million. All these making the headlines. And now the news in detail with me, Leonora Jawara. Sierra Leone Army Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Brian Mabure Sisay, while addressing troops at the Wilberforce hockey pitch on Thursday, 12 April 2018, has urged members of the force to remain absolutely consistent in upholding their professional standards and warned serving personnel not to take politics into the barracks. Our defense correspondent, Abdulrahman Kamara, compiled this report, read by Duraman Samura.
Lieutenant General Brian Mabure Sisay commended troops for their professional stance and good performance during the March 7 general elections running to the 31st March presidential runoff, calling members of the force to work with their constitutional mandate by serving the democratic government of the day and also be apolitical, and continue to admonish them not to take politics into the barracks.
The major message to the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces this morning now that I'm not happy with what they happen at the barracks. I'm not happy today, I'm not happy tomorrow. When I want to bring politics inside barracks, when I left. When I not bring politics inside barracks, when our brothers and sisters, want to say me? Who care for yourself. If trouble can't save you, go first. Now you brothers with a man, if something do you, now he will save you. Now he will listen to, now he will call. If put my head look yourself, now your brother and sister will now wear the same uniform. So they are the appeal to the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces. We are not bring politics in barracks. I don't tell you now. Even where I just commander joint force, while they go and address troops, even around the country. One particular thing I can talk. I don't know if somebody there will remember that concerning politics. Nobody remember. I can tell you that something. Yeah, God bless you.
He explained the essence of cohesion and esprit de corps and the force of binding element that engenders the spirit of oneness and patriotism, not only within the force, but the country as a whole.
We are not bringing politics inside the barracks. And once we have to know, you the soldier, you the officer, you are responsible for the actions of anybody who is under you, as long as you are under jurisdiction. And I want to tell you one thing. I don't go hesitate. I don't get one fear for take action against anybody who I know say they bring division and this answer. Love you all, live like brothers and sisters. If you come and say you don't need to talk to them, after this we talk today, where you go? You not tell nothing by you, not going nothing by you. You don't need to say you don't put yourself under them. But when I say self, when I will build this day, you don't find out allow politics for Kana Barat. Not to say be? You know go born fine begin. e no go born fine pikin. We forget peaceful coexistence. Peaceful coexistence. Where we all dey together. Where this election come, the way we all perform roles. As like we moral. But if this people they do this, then this they do this they do that. We not go get the praise. And we duty now for make sure say the people that when are the taxpayer in money, when they are the money that they take pay we will always satisfy them. I think they say the military for the apolitical, not for the pan politics. If you want to go pan politics, you know say this one no there for you. Pass you show yourself. Left the uniform. Go. We will meet up on the highway. So until we do somebody said now we will provide security for you.
The Chief of Defense Staff of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, General Bure Sesay, informed troops about the key areas that they need attention, which His Excellency the President, Brigadier General Retired Julius Maada Bio, has promised utmost consideration. These are, he said, are the terms and conditions of services, accommodation and peace support operations. They addressed the troop by the Army Chief. It's a routine military exercise that is meant to update members of the force on the emerging trend of events and get them all well informed. The event was climaxed with the CDS holding discussion with all one-star generals at the Mayon Officers' Mess at Wilberforce. Compiled by Abdurrahman Kamara, Duraman Samara, Star Television, Freetown.
Meanwhile, as the Freetown City Council commenced their new collection on tax and market dues, the traders themselves have their concerns. Sarah Kale takes up the story.
From the money, they will keep them, they want to be peaceful. So we glad it. Now, we don't get out a new government. So they pray to God, let God help. The money they hold, they give, let them make for me toilets, let them get water facilities, let them build for me market. So this market now, we won't get them, we don't go one season at it here. We want to go inside the market. So we now don't get problem for paying market keeper. Because when they can't say for pay, you get shit, they pay. We don't get that they for say when they can't they pay. No, waiting they want, how they do. Waiting they want, we do, and we don't get no problem to boss it. Now they say no, when they say so can't pay, they can't pay. When you can't pay, nobody know they are since you can't they only you, when you pass the ID, they tell you. Waiting the problem, they can't be cancelled. When cancel say pay, when you not pay, now they bring it to go. But when you pay, I mean, now they get one problem to cancel. Cancel, they are nobody now. When you can't to yourself, you store them, they will talk to you fine. But when you can't say can't pay, hey, I don't say little. And not also the law say. The law say when they come in and cost some money, if you count your money, when you pay cancel, not so fast you sell it, you pay keeper, not also the law say. The law not say so. Some people they try for talk to them, they don't understand what they try for say. Keeper not say so. Keeper, the law for the keeper, when they get the money, all the tickets money. You know go say pass what you sell, you can't pay. You know go possible. So when you can't give the keeper, not say the keeper don't get problem. So give them money, one them money, then the next one, more get water, no get toilet, because you know go find where come offer, where you want go toilet, pass go send you cigarette. No the water facilities, not get water, toilets not there. Me, we don't go the meeting end this year. For this 500 when they pay, together and they pay. I don't talk to together them, let them pay share, let them pay the 500. But what's the improvement of this 500 what they pay? One of them make markets for me. What's only at the market, lights only at the market. Then would they pay 500? The trailer and they pay 500. Then they come to me, then they cry to me. And this cry now, they are the baby. Let go bet every that cry day. Let me help you that cry day. Let's solve this problem for me. Me as a chair lady, I don't talk to the trader there. For the ticket, let them pay. But they let them build market for me. The market is not enough for me. Because the man don't go by the market, but then the problem can't job the market. All men don't go that road, all the money say market is not there for sale. Or market day. They play the whole back, but we don't understand. But when you hear about the people can pay, the total fees there. So we see that the two women they can get inside. The market is empty, the bar they can inside. Then they disturb, so not everything they will for me now. But you know,
watching the news bulletin here on Star Television Network, Channel 21. Now, the former parliamentary candidate of the Sierra Leone People's Party, Aziz Mustafa Conte of Constituency 075, and the SLPP mayoral candidate of Potloko District, Madam Emily Kadiatu Gogra, have condemned the alleged act of violence in Potloko District perpetrated by supporters of the All People's Congress Party. Andrew Bestman has more and in our reports.
The former parliamentary candidate of the Sierra Leone People's Party, Aziz Mustafa Conte of Constituency 075, and the SLPP mayoral candidate of Potloko District, Madam Emily Kadiatu Gogra, have condemned the alleged act of violence in Potloko by some supporters of the All People's Congress Party. Addressing party members and journalists, the former parliamentary candidate of the Sierra Leone People's Party, Aziz Mustafa Conte, opted that the act of violence started during and after the parliamentary and presidential election runoff in the northwest part of the country, citing Potloko town as one area where properties were damaged and destroyed by people allegedly named as supporters of the All People's Congress Party.
I call this press conference here today with my executive, not to any other thing, for show the people in our Potloko districts and for show the people in this country say this violence here will begin on Potloko, because the way they attack in Potloko will never believe say that's a B. If not like war, like carry bell and attack Potloko, that's a B, right? 1 net to 20 seconds, then grab, then burn all His Excellency Julius Badabio in Banade. From there now, then go to regional secretary in Os. The other day they attack in Os. Just about a week, they extend this attack to Mami Gogla, Namio Os, who say I go seek refugee to Mr. Lavali. So now all the entire don't do it and damage you Motuka, they will decide say, no, call a press conference so that we can tell that the evidence so we alone see what's been going on at Potloko.
The mayoral candidate of the party, Madam Emily Kadiatu Gogra, also reiterated that all atrocities were allegedly caused by some APC youths in Potloko, which she said was spearheaded by one former cabinet minister in the APC government.
General public say Potloko na the first side in the northern province where they begin the violence accent and the intimidation, the molestation, especially to women them, what they do. I come, I report na situation room for that they come, we report na police. I want let the general public know say waiting me to hold the press conference, we be feel say we go situation room, go na police station, they go send it in there na the media. But since they not do I make myself try for all this press conference for tell the people of Sierra Leone, for tell the outside world say now the northern province inside Potloko and the environs of Potloko now they first begin them violent acts them for beat people them, then they tell them say pay attention, like then they put person back in school, then they beat you, then they give you the red polo, they say declare to APC by force, and that one they would have done. Now allergic chemotherapy say it gets about 100 toxin where it puts na OC, they feed them, it they give them drugs, it they tell them say let them go and beat even big people them, then they begin from here on very people them na Rosent, then go beat they, then go na me school, then me really want for burn the school by DJ Box. I get the pictures, I get the video, they say that they burn the school.
In an interview with one of the injured victims, Alpha Bedo Kamara, he revealed that they violently and brutally attacked them during the parliamentary and presidential election runoff, a matter which he said is currently being investigated by the police in Potloko.
On the day of polling, now YWCSL, I will supervise all the centers inside Potloko for tally the results.
Members of the Sierra Leone People's Party in Constituency 075, headed by the parliamentary candidate Aziz Mustafa Conte and the mayoral candidate Madam Emily Kadiatu Gogra, condemned the alleged act of violence caused by some people they refer to as APC talks in Potloko, adding that it all started in the northwest part of the country. Andrew Bestman reporting.
Now let's see what's happening in the sporting world. Ahead of the return leg in the ongoing African Nations Cup Under-20 qualifier between Sierra Leone Under-20 male team Shooting Stars versus Guinea-Bissau, Mercury International has supported the team with 200 million. Let's now join our sports correspondent, Elton John, with all the details.
It's another week for more sporting news. We start with the local scene. Thanks to Eleanor Ajawa. Let's see what is going on within the local scene. Congratulations to Mercury International giving support to the Sierra Leone under-20 team ahead of the return leg against Guinea-Bissau. It could be recalled that this is not the first time Mercury International is coming to the aid of the under-20 side. The Director of Sports in the National Sports Council and the Ministry of Sport explain more about the gesture for Mercury International.
First of all, it was a donation to the transitional team for the use of them through the Ministry of Sport and the onward to the SLFA. This is a welcome news, and we deeply appreciate them as a ministry and as a government for see at this difficult time that a reputable company like Mercury International, through the chairman of Mercury, the managing director, Samir Yansane and Marty Michael, come forward and able to do short a gesture. It was so wonderful, and the ministry and the government appreciate them very well.
So almost with the talk of Mercury been come for donate.
Mercury donate 200 million as part of the budget where the SLFA submitted for this forthcoming match against Guinea-Bissau for the under-20 youth championship. Over 300 million, and definitely His Excellency the President and the transition team don't approve the remaining balance so that the game could go ahead. And I want to use this opportunity for say thanks to His Excellency for this his passion for sport, and I'm pretty sure and I'm pretty know that at this time we will get sport for grow expeditiously, and this is the time for we to make necessary qualification for major tournament. Well, as I talk to you now, the team de Kabbalah, they will come Freetown today or tomorrow, and then we will sit and plan for make sure say they left immediately after they arrive in Freetown. We'll get one or two couple of issues then where the FA communicated to me yesterday that I can get two players then where they need urgent passports. We will try to get them done latest by tomorrow, Tuesday morning.
Once more, congratulations to Mercury International for that timely support to the under-20 side. Once again, congratulations to Marty Michael, Sami Ansane, Joe, the operations manager, and the rest of the membership within Mercury International. From local scene in the international scene, congratulations to Man City football team. They are the new crowned champions in the English Premier League. Unfortunately for Manchester United, they missed out against West Brom champion that gave Man City the champions in this season Premier League. So, if you are a fan of Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, the league is over. Just say congratulations to Manchester United fans, and let's see what the Champions League draw will look like for the race for the Champions League next season, because Chelsea football team, despite succeeded in a 3-2 victory against Southampton team over the weekend, fighting it very hard against Tottenham Hotspur, who failed to win against Man City. So once more, congratulations to Man City football team. Let's watch out for the celebration.
I'll be back. I'll be back. Well done, Pep's blue and white, Amy. Pep's blue and white, Amy. Pep's blue and white, Amy. Champions, champions, away, away, champions, champions, away, away, champions, champions, away, away, champions, champions, away, away, champions, champions, away.
Could you tell us what it's like to win the Premier League?
Fantastic, over the moon. It's not as good as winning in 2012, but this is sweet.
And do you think you're going to be winning it in 12 months' time?
Yes, definitely.
Singing the same song?
Yes. This team can retain the title and win the Champions League.
What do you think of Pep Guardiola this season? What do you think he's done this season?
He's done what everyone said he couldn't do. We've played football, and everyone thought we couldn't play this type of football, and we've proved everyone wrong. This time last year, everyone was saying, Pep can't play this way, Pep can play this way.
Manchester United and West Brom have done you a favour today.
Well, West Brom has done us a favour.
Yeah.
But the best team won the league, and the table says that.
And what were your emotions like when you were watching? I presume you were watching the game today.
I was watching the game. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. I thought it might be a draw, but I didn't thought we'd have to win it next Sunday. But to win it, it's a bit of an anticlimax actually, the way it's been won. But that's football. This time last week, we thought we were going to beat United and win the league, and we didn't.
So what will you be doing tonight to celebrate?
I'll have a few beers when I get home.
You done Manchester City a favour
today? We like to think so, yeah. I don't think anybody was expecting it, but yeah.
So you were at the game today at Old Trafford?
Yeah.
What was it like when Jay Rodriguez scored the goal?
Absolutely went bananas. We did wonder whether we could hang on, but we managed to. Foster made a couple of great saves, obviously, and kept us in the game, really. But I don't think anybody in the country was expecting us to beat Man United today.
Manchester City have won the league in quite a style. Do you think they deserve the title?
I've said right from August, September, City was by far the best team in the league. I can only think that if they keep the same team, the same players, or even strengthen it, they'll win it again next year. They're untouchable. And I think in De Bruyne, I think he's one of the best midfield players in the world at the moment. If they can keep him fit and keep him for next season, I can't see anybody stopping Manchester City.
So what's impressed you most about Manchester City this season?
I think just simply the way they play football. They play it the proper way, really. Keep the ball on the ground whenever they can. And just as a whole team, from the back right to the very front, take the chances, score goals, and the midfield is formidable.
When Jay Rodriguez scored that goal today, was it going through the back of your mind City won the league?
Definitely, yeah. There's no doubt about it. I think we were singing. We won it for you. We won it for you. Manchester City, we won it for you. I think most of the Albion fans wanted City to win the league in the end, because at the end of the day it's all about talent, and they've been the best team by far. So credit where credit's due.
No hay nadie, ahora cruzamos, pero no hay nadie.
That flashy light in the back might be ready.
Well, players, managers, fans celebrating the success of Man City football team. So the big question is, who will be the champions in next season? Premier League, want to be saying that Chelsea or Manchester United. That's all for sports. Back to Ileana Jawa in the studio.
Well, that's all we have for you in a news bulletin file here on Star Television Network, Channel 21. Thank you for watching. I'm Leonora Jawara. Stay blessed.